All right, Shalom with Hebrew Israelites. We're on between Fourth and Fifth and South Street right now. This is my name is Ahmad. To my right is Kwa. We're basically I'm gonna give all praises to Yahawah by Sham Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the sincere brothers. Pushing the word. Waking up the elect throughout the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity, keeping their garments until the end. And there's several I guess topics, Lord willing we'll get into, but one of them was on diligence in his truth, and then also, talking about the younger brothers basically just coming in, So Lord willing, we'll get into that, and maybe prophecies, current events is going on right now. So Philippians 2:12.
Hey! How are you?
Yeah, because basically, when you have brothers that came into the truth or whatever, but the thing is, you want to stay. Not all brothers have the same spirit. They're gonna be on fire as much as other brothers, but it's like you want to be. You want to be consistent. You want to do the best to the best of your ability. We're in these bodies, and we, some people, when they were in the world, it's like they had a certain trying to think of the word. Ways about them. But the thing is, when you come into the truth, you got to get more serious. You know what I mean? Because it's an urgency. You know what I mean? It's an urgency to just like how you have people in a work group or a crew, or whatever. It's like like how when you're in the world or whatever, or even at your job, you might work in a team setting, and it's like we're in the body of Yahawashi, so we're supposed to be working towards the goal of gathering the elect, through the spirit of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi in true sincerity. So you get this.
This is Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence.
Yeah, so this is a man of the Lord. This is speaking, and he's basically exhorting the Israelites.
Oh, you don't remember her?
This Philippians 2:12, and this is a scripture that you always hear brothers getting into, and basically, so what it's basically saying is that it's an exhortation, basically telling the thing is you want to always be basically doing what you're supposed to be doing, not always when somebody's looking at you under a microscope, but when they're not doing that, like basically also you want to be consistent. And when we do this work, you want to be consistent. You don't want to like when people aren't looking just like just bullshit or whatever. Like there's people I work with that do that, and I be trying to tell them like you can't do that, because at the end of the day, we're trying to get a goal accomplished or whatever. So you can't do that. If you're working as a team, you got to try and put effort into getting the goal accomplished. And in this case, we're trying to whatever. City, state, country, you're in teaching the word or whatever, that's what you want to do. Like, just like, when, before you might go out to the highways and byways, when you might be trying to get up the courage or intestinal fortitude or whatever, you want to basically, learn what you can so that you will be able to teach. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get on a level to where you basically could go out and teach and form your own camps or join other brothers that are already speaking. You know what I mean? So that's what you want to do. But like this,
This is Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence.
Yeah, much more in his absence. So
work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah, so it said work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So at the end of the day, like no, none of these people out here, we know the scriptures, it says in the curses, and that no man's gonna be able to save us. So at the end of the day, we gotta do what we gotta do to get our salvation, which is, of course, like we always say, rehearsing the righteous acts and having faith, and basically by us coming out here doing the work, that's a shine, that's an example, of us, our works basically. So that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? You can't be a sluggard, like how we're always talking about this. Like just like for example, like it snowed yesterday, right? So me and the other brother Matazah, who I who teaches with us. You've seen us and teach with us before. We were trying to go out there yesterday, but it snowed real bad in Philly to where, it wasn't really. How can I say this? The roads and all that stuff was real kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? But today, it's cool. So we came out here today, which is the day we normally would come out here. But so you want to stay like diligent. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to make an excuse like, oh, it snows, so you know what? I'm just gonna chalk up this week and go out. You know what I mean? When the weather's better. You know what I mean? Like it's cold out here now, but we're still out here. You know what I'm saying? We got our toe warmers, our hand warmers, our tea and stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what you want to do. You don't want to make excuses because it's just like, let's say like if you're doing if you're training, right? Like if you're training boxing or whatever, like or whatever you may do. Whatever. I'm just using that as an example. If you miss like training or whatever, a day or whatever, it's kind of you don't want to get into the habit of keep doing that, making excuses or whatever. You want to stay, consistent.
It's Proverbs 20:4. The sluggard will not plow by reasoning of cold.
Yeah, and that's just what we're talking about, the sluggard, right? The sluggard, I mean, if you look that up, I mean, it's not that complex. It's like somebody that's basically like lazy. So, what I mean? They're not, it's like,
It's Proverbs 20:4. The sluggard will not plow by reasoning of the cold.
Yeah, so they're not gonna plow. What is plowing? Plowing is basically basically doing the work. So like they're not gonna come out because it's cold, but I mean that's not really a valid, excuse. I mean it's like we're at war, you know what I mean? Like when we say we're at camp is like like in the ancient times, when they go out on military campaigns and all this, they set up camps and all that. And I mean that's basically symbolic of what we're doing right now. So how can you that's like you saying you don't want to go out and fight for the maybe Yahawashi outside because it's too cold outside. That's not the spirit you really should like be in or whatever.
Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing.
Yeah, so therefore shall he beg and harvest, because we know that there's gonna come a point in time, like right now we're basically sowing, like spiritually symbolic. We're sowing, like when you sow some, put seeds in the ground. So it's like we're trying to do our works, and the words that we're saying through the spirit of Yahawah Sham Shai, we're trying to basically build up a spiritual, I guess you could say, account or whatever with the Most High to basically to justify us receiving salvation in the chariots and being part of that number, whether it's the 144 or the 1/3. So that's basically why we're doing what we're doing, among other things. So that's very important. Like we're putting in work now, but it's gonna come a time where we're gonna basically reap the benefits of the work that we put in. So that's why you want to give it your all. Like one of my favorite scriptures, I even got it on my my business card or whatever. It's Proverbs. Proverbs. I think no, Ecclesiastes 9 and 10. I think. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might.
Yeah, this is King Solomon speaking, right? So he's saying whatsoever thy hand findeth to do. So whatever you're doing, you want to do it with your might. You don't want to be like, half-ass like doing things. You know what I mean? Because in a way, if you're like if you're a person that does things half-ass, you're gonna if you do things like that in the world, even if you do these things outside of camp or whatever, eventually you're gonna start probably doing it. At camp, like let me see some examples. you know, I mean, just like, all right, just let's just use an example. Like I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, whatever. Like, you know, it's like doing this work. It's like we're employees of like, you know how you have a boss and you have a supervisor. It's like you know, you have the chain of command or whatever. It's like doing this work. It's the same thing. So like when you basically have you know, brothers, it's like we're workers or whatever. So you don't want to you don't want to be coming to camp late. You don't want to be coming to camp late. You don't want to be you know what I'm saying, being like half-assed, standing around with your hands in your pockets, not really trying to get your goal accomplished. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different aspects or whatever you could look at it. But that's, you know, you want to be a good skilled worker that's bringing something to the table that's an asset to the camp. You know what I mean? Whether you're a speaker, whether you're a reader, whether you can make signs, whether you can make garments, whether you can you know, help, bro, be a help, you know what I mean? Whatever your lot is in the camp, you know what I'm saying? You want to do it with your might or whatever, you know what I mean? You don't want to be like half-assed doing things. You know what I mean? Even like me, you know what I'm saying? You know, I gotta, you know, like the scriptures say, you gotta constantly be examining yourself. But then, you know, at the same time, you know what I mean, you don't want to be overly righteous, but you want to be, you know, you want to do what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Within the ability of the lot that the Most High Yahawashi gave you. Like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably it.
I want to say, ultimately, when you come into this truth, you're supposed to be baptized by the Spirit in the Word. You're supposed to, and when you go into that word baptize, it basically means to submerge and like to put under, right? So you're supposed to put away that old man and everything that you was doing in the world that was off, and everything, and then put on a new man and move in righteousness according to the Spirit of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. So if you so called in the truth, and you still conducting in, like, I guess, a slothful spirit or whatever kind of demon spirit you got on that you have from in the world, it's going to manifest and drip over to the truth. Like before brothers came into the truth, I'm pretty sure you had brothers that were like, we would I guess you would say coon for our boss or whatever, maybe. But when we come into the truth, like when we at work or whatever, we'll be wise. We won't exactly be cooning. We'll be wise and have things in perspective. But at the same time, our mindset ain't the same as it was before. But if you being a sluggard outside the truth, you're a sluggard inside the truth. There ain't no way around it. How can you it's like kind of point, like he was just saying, if you're a fighter, whatever you do outside the ring, as far as training wise, is going to manifest when you get inside the ring. So if you're not putting the work in outside the ring, when you get into the ring, what do you think is going to happen?
I got some. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. It says, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahawashi and Mashiach is in you, except you reprobates. Alright, so this is I'm gonna read it again. 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourselves. And just like I was saying, you know, you constantly gotta be examining yourselves. You know, like your every move has gotta be, you know, calculated through the scriptures and through, you know, this wisdom that we've been given basically. So I mean, you gotta ask yourself questions like, you know, am I doing the right thing? Is this what you know, men of the Lord before me? Is this how they would be, you know, moving, conducting themselves? You know.
And ultimately, you're going to be doing that, constantly examining yourself, because out of the fear of Yahawashi Shem Yahawashi, because we know if you get out of line, he's going to correct you. And it's saying, I think it's Ecclesiastes, there's a correction It's not common. And sometimes when you go off, you're going to get rebuked by Yahawashi Yahawashi. And how he does it might not be in a calmly, which is a beautiful way. So that's why we're going to constantly be examining ourselves so we won't go off, so we won't have to get whatever kind of rebuke that will come with going off. That's why we constantly examining ourselves. So we won't go off because we know we're in this flesh and we are all liable to go off. So that's why you want to constantly be examining yourself.
So it says, it's 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. So, you gotta look, are you basically doing the correct things according to the scriptures? Like I was saying earlier about giving diligence to make that calling and election sure. Like, are you studying? Are you trying to grow? Because this is important. Like, just like I was saying, for especially like younger brothers coming in, you want to build good study habits or whatever. You want to keep yourself clean. You want to put off that old man, put on that new man that's walking in the spirit. Not basically walking, being a nigga and stuff like that, basically. So all those ways you had before, you gotta cut those out. You gotta cut the fat. You gotta use what is useful to you, basically. And like we're saying, the sluggard thing, that's really not good. You want to be proactive. You want to try and avoid certain situations or whatever from basically happening. So it says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. So it said prove yourself. Just like how the scriptures talk about, Yahawashi is going to, or the spirit is basically going to try the men of the Lord as if they're like silver or gold, which we know that's talking about heating something up, and the heat represents basically affliction. So we're going to be tried. So we got to prove ourselves. Prove yourself. It says, prove your own selves. Know ye not, Sluggardly, know ye not your own selves, how that Yahawashi and Mashiach is in you, except you be reprobates. You gotta know. You gotta try yourself. You gotta try and get yourself in order. And prove that the spirit of Yahawashi is working with you. And then it says, except you be reprobate, because basically reprobate. That means like somebody that's void of judgment. And we know that's like characteristics of, the category that the people that we call the 2/3. Which, the 2/3, are people that are the people, the Israelites that basically, they're not going to get right. And they're not really thinking about, concerned about, judgment and, right and wrong or what they're supposed to be doing. It's like they put their self before the Most High. And it's got to be about serving the Most High, not serving yourself.
This is Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. For do I now persuade men for Yahawah, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of a Mashiach. It's Galatians 1 and 10. For do I now persuade men for Yahawah, or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of a Mashiach.
Yeah, so like basically this whole thing is about serving Yahawah Shem Yahshua. It's not about pleasing men. It's not about being seen before men and being, getting views or being accepted or vainglory. Like we always talk about vainglory. It's about, serving the Lord out of a pure heart and conscience. Which, you got guys out there, That it's like that's what they're, you know what I'm saying, that's what they're about, just being glory or whatever. You know, views, like controversy, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? You can't do, you know, like a Tommy Sotomayor and it's like truth. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be about pushing the word. You can't just, you know, try to do things or whatever just to get people's attention and stuff like that.
John 21:16. He said unto him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my sheep.
Yeah, it said feed his sheep. And who is his sheep? His sheep is referring to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, right? Tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and down to Issachar. That's the sheep. And you know, we know through the scriptures that's referring to our people, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and Israelites that are scattered abroad. And so, you know, that's our whole job is to feed the sheep. You know, when we go out here, it's not about, just like I said, it's not about vainglory. It's about feeding the sheep, feeding the men, you know, gathering through the spirit, through the word, the you know, the Israelites.
This is Matthew 15 and 8. On these sluggards, this people draws nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me.
Yeah, it said, it's like, read one time.
This is Matthew 15 and 8. This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me.
Yeah, so like just like, you know, within the Christian church or whatever, you got a lot of people that they'll basically, can you check that? They said 20 minutes. So basically, you know what I'm saying, within the Christian church, you have a lot of people that'll say, oh, they love Jesus, they'll go and, you know, beat the tambourines and all that, and sing songs and all this, and say all this stuff, but then at the same time, are you really trying your best to keep the laws? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really sincerely doing it? Or are you doing it just because this is like a ritual that you know, you see other people doing it?
This is Exodus 23 and 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries.
Yeah, so basically, if Israel were to do everything that the Most High basically commands them to do, he would have the Most High, Yahawah, would have been with Israel. But because Israel went off and transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High is not. He's you know, he's turned his back on Israel, so to speak. That's why he basically you know, punished Israel, or you know, put the curses on them. But eventually, through the spirit, through the prophecies, the Most High is going to be with Israel in the end. Because Israel is the only people that are promised the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites.
This is Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And Yahawah requireth that which is past. This is Ecclesiastes 3.
Yes.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And Yahawah requires that which is past.
Yeah, so it's saying basically that's a scripture that we would use talking about reincarnation, but it's like you know, basically the things that happened in the past is nothing basically you know, new under the sun, like we always say. Just like how, you know, our forefathers, they basically you know, we're those same people, we're Israelites. So it's basically like, I'm sorry.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And Yahawah requires that which is past.
Yeah, so the last part of that verse it said the Most High required that which is past. So the Most High is gonna basically pay, believes in basic judgment. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that a lot of people that try to negate or bypass, or circumvent when dealing with the scriptures. That the Most High basically he requires that which is past.
This is This is Acts 5:29, and Peter and the other apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey God rather than men."
Yeah, we are to obey God rather than men. So we got a lot of especially our people or whatever, they want to go by what the church doctrines or whatever. But the thing is, the scriptures that basically tells you exactly how to move or whatever, how to move in this world. So you don't want to go by the Seventh-day Adventists or Jehovah's Witnesses or the Mormons or the Baptists or the Pentecostals or whatever, because at the end of the day, these was like men that basically tried to change the doctrine around of the scriptures to a different so-called interpretation. So we're supposed to obey the Most High, not men. And we was already given, in the scriptures, our guidelines or whatever. You know what I mean? But you got men that basically try and switch all this stuff up. For 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10, it says, "Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if you do these things, you shall never fall." Can you do me a favor? Just look up the word diligence real quick. For 2 Peter 1 and 10. 2 Peter 1 and 10. Yeah, so I'm going to read it one more time. It says, 1 Peter, it's like 2 Peter 1 and 10, it says, "Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if you do these things, ye shall never fall." Right? So this is basically telling you, because at the end of the day, we don't know who the elect is. We don't even know who the 2/3 is, right? But we know, certain characteristics that the Most High, like frowns upon. For example, like one of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 8 and 13. It says, "The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, arrogancy, the wicked way, and forward mouth do I hate." So if you're exhibiting those things, that's characteristics of things that the Most High hates. So your chances of being part of the elect or whatever are very slim if you're continuing in these things and not really thinking about them and trying to change them. Because we don't know we're not angels or whatever. We don't know who the elect is. We don't know who the 2/3 are. Just like how when Yahawashi came, it's just like in Matthew, I believe the book of Matthew, right? He rode up on Andrew and Simon, and he straight up he basically just knew that they were the elect. Whereas we don't know that. We gotta try the spirit by the spirit. Where it's like Yahawashi had that power, that spiritual power to be able to know who the elect was. So that's why he chose a certain men and all that stuff. And they endured to the end, until they were put to death because, with the exception of John the Revelator, which he was put on the island of Patmos, but everybody else was basically put to death basically. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. So like it said, yeah.
This is the definition for diligence. To hasten, make haste, exhort oneself. Give diligence.
Yeah, it said exhort oneself. So when you exhort, that's like encouraging somebody. Like when we give exhortation to come back to the Bible, we're telling somebody to follow through. We're encouraging them to do this. So it's like diligence. You be doing that basically for yourself. In the context of the scripture, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Because at the end of the day, the scripture says many are called, but few are chosen. So you don't know if you're going to be part of that 1/3. You're called. So you got to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Like the scriptures say in Colossians. The scriptures say in Colossians, it says, "Put on therefore as the elect." So we have to play the part of the elect, even though we don't know if we're the elect, but we're supposed to act as if we're the elect.
This is Proverbs 13 and verse 4. The soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing.
Yeah, the soul of the sluggard desireth and have nothing. So, going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's like if you don't put in work, you're not gonna have anything to, just like for example, I mean, you can see that in the animal kingdom or whatever, if you have, if you will, like the squirrels or whatever, right? Or yeah, the squirrels. That's a good example because what they'll do is, this is like simple too, like like they eat acorns and all that stuff, so they'll go like basically store their stuff in the tree in the seasons before it starts getting all cold and food is gonna be scarce or whatever. They'll store up their food so in the wintertime they'll have like a little stash to hold them over until what I'm saying. But that's the thing. If you don't do that, if they didn't do that when the winter comes, they'd be just assed out like just. I don't know, you know what I mean? They probably, I don't know what they would do. Like, I don't know, they probably be digging in like trash cans or something like that. I don't know.
So like real quick, I was about to say something that made me thought about something else. Like he was saying, what would they do? But it's in the spirit. It's on the spirit. Yeah, it's just hit 30. Just hit 30, right?
No, 30.